Hello guys, welcome to Scry Guys again. My name is Quest. You can find me on Twitter at QuestionBeaver or TikTok at Beaver Magic. And we also have a Twitch channel, is Scry Guys TV. I'll be streaming every Wednesdays and Fridays, and I'm here again with...
Yep. My name is Barry. You can find me on TikTok at Otaku, making MTG content over there as well.
Yeah, and we have a topic to talk about, taxes and Magic.
Yeah, this has been sort of a hot debate ever since Commander has risen in popularity.
Even Modern and Legacy too, like some of those tax effects are annoying. And what are your initial thoughts on taxes?
So from the format that I play the most, which is Commander, taxing effects aren't too oppressive. Not as oppressive as like in Modern, where you have what's it called, like state, decks,
Thalia,
like death and taxes
death and
type
taxes,
of archetypes. But in Commander, it's a little bit more. It's a smaller scale.
Yeah.
Unless someone, of course, builds a taxes type of deck, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I mean, for one of the cards that we're mainly really going to talk about in today's episode is what? Rhystic Study, Smothering Tithe.
Thalia. I mean, like getting them that like makes you pay for something, whatever you do, and your opponent's going to get that advantage or card advantage that they need,
right? Or slow you down just enough, to maybe etch out
like
the win.
Staxes too. Like I think those are like tax worthy of like cards.
Well, I think stacks is a whole other issue, right?
Yeah, no, never mind. That's a whole nother topic.
Yeah.
But I think we'll just stick with the initial tax. But my thoughts are like, wow, got to pay extra for that. I hate this game. Like, it's like, man, I'm going to do all this cool stuff, but then you play Thalia, it's like, wow, my stuff costs extra? I hate this game. Like, I would have, like, won next turn, and then you just won, like, Magic.
I mean, sometimes it's fine. I can see it being fine, but when a whole deck is built around taxing effects, like, it slows down the game so much.
Oh, yeah.
That... when a game is initially maybe like 30 to 40 minutes is now an hour 20.
Yeah.
Which is not enjoyable for the most part, just because, like, all right, let's just go to a new game, like, he got it, or whatever. Like, he's playing Smokestack or something like that.
Something stupid like that. I can't even think all the stacks cards off the top of my head. But I did build stacks, like, I think 2 years ago, and I don't remember any of those cards anymore, like Tanglewire.
Yeah, you said it was casual, and you're like,
cool.
It
was super friends.
All right, cool.
Casual.
Winter Orbs, Smokestacks, but that's stacks.
Yeah,
but taxing effects is more like the Smothering Tides, the Thalias, the Rhystic Studies. So one of the questions I want to ask is, like, for the format that I play the most, I don't know how often this is played in, like, Modern or anything like that, but one of the main topics, one of the two main cards that we want to talk about is Rhystic Study and Smothering Tithe.
Oh, man.
So what are your initial thoughts on paying the taxes for those cards?
So it really depends on what type of board state they have and what board state you have, right? Let's say you're like 3 land ahead of your opponent and he had Rhystic Study or Smothering Tithe. What do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to definitely pay those taxes. I'm going to definitely take my turn slower, just play one spell each turn, pay the Rhystic Study, pay the Smothering Tithe so they don't get that card advantage. But no, other people will just be like, nah, you got it. You could draw that card. You could get that treasure. And I'm the only one that paid my taxes over here. But that's what the guard goes for, like, any type of green deck. But if it's with, like, Boros, like, yeah, I guess you got it. Can't really pay for it because Boros is, like, sad lands, like, you know, and Kaza. I mean, I'm just naming off some decks I have, and then like any of those like ramp decks are definitely just gonna pay it off, or like it just doesn't matter. Like, you have too many cards in hand, just whatever, just win already. Like,
yeah, all right. I mean, like, cause we play so much together, right? And you are always
I always pay. I always pay. You guys.
Hold on. I do pay.
Uh-huh.
I do. Come on, I do. I pay for Rhystic Studies and anything. Unless I'm gonna win that turn, I'm like, go ahead, because I'm gonna try to win this turn. See, it's all about situations, right? It's all situational.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, sure.
Right. But it's also like when you look at the board states, right? Say someone has a Smothering Tithe, but they have no cards in hand. then it's just like, yeah, go ahead, have the treasures because you have no hand.
I am paying that. I am not risking it. Like, you have 6 land and Smelly Tithe? No. What if you just draw something like insane? Like, I'm gonna draw my whole entire deck right now. Like, yeah, that's cool. Guess we lost.
But I have learned from games with Ristic Studies that if I can at least play a spell or two while playing the Ristic Studies, I will. And you've seen me do it.
Yeah.
You've seen me do it.
Yeah.
But see, the consensus is if you're at a table and someone is playing say someone's playing a Kess deck, any type of deck that really needs to refill their hand to do something. If the table has to look at each other and just say, we have to pay this Ristic Study tax.
Yeah.
You know, like how, you make a political deal. Like, all right, I won't mess with your board for a little bit as long as this tax is out, this Ristic Study is out, because we don't want to give a certain player too much card advantage.
And if you're wondering, guy, what these 2 cards do, if you don't know, Ristic Study is 1 blue, 2 colorless, and whenever an opponent casts a spell, they may pay 1. If they don't, you draw a card.
You may draw a card.
Oh yeah, may.
Yeah.
My bad. And then Smelly Tithe is 1 white, 2 or 3 colorless, and then whenever an opponent draws a card, they may pay 2. If they don't, you create treasure.
Yeah.
Which treasure is sack it, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool.
Yeah, which these 2 have to be the best tax effects in Commander.
Smelly Tithe is like almost $50, and Ristic Study is like 20, I think. Around
Yeah,
there.
20, 25,
Yeah.
depending on the edition that you get. Like, I think Jumpstart's a little bit cheaper than Prophecy.
Yeah.
So like, but like these are the things. Like, the table has to come to a consensus. Like, we have to slow down the game enough so this person doesn't get more advantage.
That's when you play your counters, Tori. I want to talk about these counters toward those cards. Hole Breacher, Narset. Let's go run it.
oh yeah, those are the counters for these.
Yeah, for that, and then you have Smelly Tithe, Collector. Oof, no rod. Try your best, sir.
Yeah, like, depending on the power level of your play group, obviously you're gonna want to play something that counteracts these type of effects, right?
Yeah.
Ristic Study is a little bit more. It isn't too hard just because Ristic Study is a May, so they don't have to draw.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people out there playing a certain Sphinx.
And Mystic Memorial too. It's the same thing. Just that it's 1 blue, and then whenever opponent casts answers or a non-creature, they may pay for it. If they don't, you draw a card. I think it's not mandatory, or it is.
To draw?
Yeah, with Mystic Memorial.
I believe it actually is.
It's mandatory. Yeah, that one is mandatory. Like for 1 blue, but it has a cultivate, right? Cultivate, that's the ability.
A cumulative upkeep.
Cumulative upkeep where like you have to pay like I think 1 blue.
Yeah, no, it's just one colorless.
One colorless.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. But that card sees way more play in CEDH than anything.
Oh yeah, and it's only being played in Vintage just because all the busted mocks it. Because you have Power 9. That's why you play that card. So you get the draws in that.
That's disgusting. Just turn 1. All right, cool. Turn 1. I'll play out all my stuff and then put what's it called? Mystic Remora out.
Yeah. Normally that doesn't happen. Normally you just win on turn 1 sometimes.
Oh yeah. I don't know how Vintage goes.
Oh man.
I'm imagining those games are like turn 3 is a late game.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, you're right. Those games are like, wow, someone should have won by now because they're like a Black Lotus. There's like so much thing going on, back to the topic at hand. When you're at a table quest, maybe you're playing with a brand new table and there's people playing these type of cards. At some point, do you just give up when the rest of the table isn't paying the taxes? No,
you stick to your guns. You're like, all right, fine. I guess I'm the only one doing something about it. But
I'm not committing tax evasion over here. At least I'm paying my taxes.
Yeah, you should have seen how heartbroken Quest was because Wesley Snipes was one of his favorite actors.
Okay.
Mr. Tax Evasion. So you initially don't give up. You're like, no, I'm gonna keep paying these taxes because if I could slow him down just even a little bit, even though these other people aren't, you're just sticking to your guns.
Yep. Unless I have something that stops that or destroys it.
Oh man, yeah. Sometimes I feel I become just so sad in certain matches where like nobody is paying for it. I'm like, wow, really? Like
Yeah.
this game is gonna be over so soon. So like that becomes my mentality when people aren't paying the taxes and I'm still trying to pay the taxes, but at some point you're sitting across a player who has 15, 20 cards in their hand.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe 30 mana available to them because of all the treasures that they've made.
Mm-hmm.
It just becomes like, at some point, do you ever feel like you just want to scoop?
Yeah. My phone had like 30 cards in it. I'm like, no, I'll just go to a new game. This game's done. You draw 30 cards. I only have one and it's a land. I'm done here, Chief.
Right?
Like, you're about to win next turn. There's just no way you draw 30 and just like passed. Like, what?
Oh yeah, you know some people do when they have the Dalkin Ori, the Justly Quiet special out.
I'll just respond on your turns. Like, what? then that's when you like Crow and Grip.
Yeah. Yeah, Cross and Grip that.
And
yeah.
then you like strip mine their own reliquary tower. Like, cool. Just go down to 7 now, sir.
Right. I mean, yeah. I'm not. Only in Narset am I a fan of destroying lands. Okay,
Uh-huh.
I want to say that, but I'm not a huge fan of like strip mining lands unless. I mean, obviously, there's some key lands out there that need to just be destroyed, i.e., Gaia's Cradle, the temple from Nyx.
Nixos Shrine.
Nycto Shrine.
Yeah.
Those are dangerous in certain decks.
But yeah, these two tax cards are really powerful. And then we got some creatures too, like Dahlia. I'm trying to think of the other ones.
Oh yeah, there's Thalia, there's the Pegasus,
Yeah.
there's. Well, would you count Avid Mind Sensor as a taxing type of effect?
That's a tax effect. Any though that like require you to pay mana into it, it's a tax effect. Like Grand Arbiter, not Grand Arbiter.
Yeah, Grand Arbiter is a taxing effect.
Oh yeah, Grand Arbiter. That's a rude one. And then we got
Leonin,
Arbiter.
yeah, the one where you can't, you have to pay to search your library.
That's really powerful if you flash that thing out. It's like,
I mean,
wow.
now we also have a brand new one from Strixhaven.
The Spirit. Whenever.
No, it's Avatar, the Wandering Archaic. Or whatever.
Oh, we're talking about there are two new ones. The one Archaic is basically they have to pay to unless they don't, you get to copy that spell, and
which is amazing.
It's broken. I think I feel like that card will be probably like $20 or even $30 in the future. Like when
it's
almost all that. Like it's $11 now.
Yeah, I mean we're already like maybe like a couple days out, so packs have been massively open, and it's still holding for a new rare. It's holding steadily at $10-11.
Yeah, and then we got the other one, which is Spirit, which is a 1 white, 1 colorless, and whenever a creature or whenever a permanent enter battlefield has an ATB ability, counter it unless they pay to.
Oh, it's any permanent, so it's even
I believe so, but I might be wrong. It might be just creatures, but don't don't take me on that one.
What about Elite Spellbinder? That's a taxing effect because you're taking
you take a card and they have to pay extra for it. It's pretty gross.
Yeah. So taxing effects in constructed formats 1v1s, I'm fine with, because it's just like your goal in a 1v1 is to win.
Yeah.
However you want to win. But I feel like, in a pod of EDH like a commander, do you feel like it's detrimental because it slows down the game so much, just like Stacks does?
I mean, at that point, you're just trying to win in CDH, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just don't care.
I'm talking about EDH.
Oh, EDH. Okay, I thought you were talking about CDH, but yeah, in regular EDH, I would probably stop that. Like, no, I'll pay my taxes, sir.
Right, you're trying to you want to, because like but it still slows you down like maybe a turn. You're always gonna be half a turn behind because someone's taxing you out of the game, or not out of the game, but taxing you from casting spells.
And the Spirit that I'm talking about is Strict Protector, and it is a permanent entering the battlefield.
Oh man,
that's pretty good.
Yeah, because there's artifacts that like will get you a land on ETB, will let you draw a card on ETB.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. What do you feel? Would you consider Drannith Magistrate Stacks, or it's Stacks, isn't it?
Yeah.
Damn it. I mean, so in conclusion, though, within regards to paying the 1, paying the 2. Do you feel like they are necessary cards in Commander?
No.
Really?
I like to cast spells without paying extra.
Or do you like to draw cards without paying extra?
Yeah.
But do you feel like smothering tithe, even though it's a taxing effect?
It's just a good white card.
Yeah.
I don't think blue needs a risk to study, but it's a good white card.
Yeah.
White does need more.
More. I mean, hey, Strixhaven has given it like monologue tax on Archaeo map too. So
Nah, just put in like 1 mana white, draw 3 cards, and your opponent gains like 10 life.
I hate the fact that when you say that, I would still play it. Because 10 life is whatever. 10 life is nothing in Commander.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and comment what tax effects that we didn't talk about, or just chat up. We would like to get out through the community. And my name is Quest.
My name is Barry.
And don't commit tax evasion. And this is the Scry Guys.